sometimes like Doofenshmirtz, like in France, I think it's Doofenshmirtz talks way down here like this, which is weird to watch that come out. But so many of the times they're sort of doing a version of what I'm doing, and for specifically the South American Spanish version, he's like Perry Alornito Rinco.
Hi guys, how are you?
Lucia,
Good.
how are you?
I am great, really glad to be talking to you today.
Where in Argentina are you?
Oh, I'm in Buenos Aires. Have you been?
Buenos Aires. I went to Buenos Aires for my luna de miel con mi esposa.
Wow, that's a great. Do you speak a little Spanish too?
Un poquito, pero hablo más que entiendo porque yo sé una palabra para una cosa, pero hay muchas palabras para una cosa.
Sí, hablas muy bien igual.
So-
Okay.
So he doesn't.
So really great. Well, congratulations again on this incredible comeback, I guess. I mean, I want to start asking you because, this is kind of like a timeless show, or it feels timeless to everyone. I mean, it really has come to so many generations. So why do you think that is? What makes this show so timeless?
Well, we try not to.
He put hidden messages in there.
Right.
No.
Okay.
We try not to do jokes that are gonna, like we always think about that when we pitch a joke, and,
Right.
and it's like, is this gonna be funny 10 years from now, or is it something that's tied to what's going on right now? And as long as we feel like it's not going to be strange 10 years from now, if it's going to have any kind of relevance, then we'll go with it. So we try not to limit ourselves to things that are funny at the moment, and think of the bigger picture.
Right, that's incredible. Yeah, and I do want to go back in time, like a lot, I guess, to the beginning, because I really like this story, to where you were pitching the show for the first time, and you were pitching it to different networks, and you didn't get, the perfect response that you were hoping for. So why didn't you give up back then, and what was usually the response that you got from
Why
those
didn't
networks?
we didn't because we're sort of cocky.
And stubborn.
we think a lot of ourselves.
Cocky and stubborn.
Yeah, we're cocky and stubborn. I feel like we didn't give up because it was always the show we wanted to see, and we figured eventually somebody else would. Like that's what I always say is like pitch the show that you want to see and just stick with it, and eventually other people will come around to your way of thinking. We always got good response too. We got good response at the at the levels that we were pitching, and then it would sometimes work its way up the ladder at the studio, and then somebody up there wouldn't get it, and it would go away. And so it's a little heartbreaking, but we felt like at least like we've never shown it to anybody and them have no interest in it at all. But actually, when we first pitched it to Disney, they weren't looking for a show with boys in the lead, and they said, no, this is not what we're looking for, but we'll keep the pitch packet if you don't mind. And then called up like a year and a half later, said, okay, we're looking for a boys property now. Do you want to do this show?
Right.
We always used to get notes, and we would look at them, but we just never really agreed with them. We thought the show was good the way it was, and then we would watch the shows that would come out every new season and think, nope, we still think this one's better. So there was never any belief that we should change it. It still was something we wanted to see.
Well, so confidence is the secret ingredient.
I think so.
Well,
Pretty much in all of life, confidence is the secret ingredient.
Completely. And you seem to just work incredibly great together. And I know that working with someone must be tricky or must be hard sometimes. But I wanted to ask you about, about the creative decisions. Did you ever have like any creative battles with each other? Are there any episodes?
We've never really. Like occasionally we'll have something, but what has sometimes happened is I can remember one time where all the board artists wanted to do something one way, and I said, no, I don't think that works that way. I think you need to do it this way, and they were all like, no, I think and usually I just stick to my guns with that. And then Swampy said, I agree with the board artists on this, and I was like, I'm wrong, aren't I? Okay, never mind.
Oh, I love that.
It's like, but Swampy and I usually give the same notes for everything, you know, when people, you know, like when people pitch us stuff, or sometimes they'll come and ask Swampy a question and then not get the answer they want. They come and ask me, and I give them the same answer, and they're like, "Oh God, I knew that was going to happen." But we have the same ideas about the show, so we get along really well.
I always said that, you know, working with Dan is to me, it's been the best working relationship I've had, because it never feels like it's ego driven.
Mm-hmm.
It really, all of whatever disagreements we've ever had have always been about the character of the show or the story. So it makes it easy, and you know you're working with somebody who trusts you and will be honest with you. So you're going to get the raw stuff, and it's never going to, at least to us, it never feels personal. It just feels like it's about the show.
Wow, well, that's very important. And the ego thing must be really hard to find in this business. I mean,
Sometimes.
right?
And outside of that process, I think we both have very healthy egos. But once we sit down to do Phineas and Ferb, it stops being about us altogether.
Wow, that's great. And well, you also are, you know, voice actors, as we know. You are voicing, of course, this incredible show. Did you have any involvement in, you know, other voices? For example, me, I'm from Latin America. So did you have any involvement in that? Did you ever hear or listen or watch the show with other voices that were not, you know?
Yeah. Yeah, you know, I've seen it in Spanish. I've seen it in so many different languages, and sometimes like Doofenshmirtz, like in France, I think it's Doofenshmirtz talks way down here like this, which is weird to watch that come out. But so many of the times they're sort of doing a version of what I'm doing, and for specifically the South American Spanish version, he's like, "Hey, ornitorrinco," and I played it for my ex-wife who's Venezuelan, which is why we went down there for that. I played it for her, and she went, "Did they have you do that?" And I was like, "It really sounds like me, right?" He sounds exactly like me. He's the best impression of Doofenshmirtz I've ever heard, but he's just speaking in Spanish. I was like, "No, they didn't have it. Can you imagine, like, with my broken Spanish, how long that would take?" And she's like, "Well, it really
very
sounds
funny.
like you."
To hear the different markets where some people are just doing a really good impression of you in a different language, and other times they've taken a completely different tack.
Yeah.
Must be amazing. Right.
I just love hearing the songs in all the different languages.
Yeah.
That's really amazing.
And people are really, really connected to those songs. So it's like, no, I don't want to hear it in another language. It's this one. Yeah, completely. Well, you know, thank you guys so much for your time and being so cool. So, well, congratulations again, and really hope to talk to you in another junket. Muchas gracias.
Absolutely.
Cheers.
All right.
Muchas gracias.
Ciao.
Ciao.